So after the last video, which was very sad, how about we cheer things up a bit with the harmless, family-friendly Black Lagoon. Fun for the whole family! Now Black Lagoon is one of those animes that really reminds you the world is a dark and depressing place. Created by Tex-Mex, I mean this dude, it's about a Japanese man who gets taken hostage by a pirate crew. But pirate in the modern sense. No eye patches, just doing illegal business for the highest bidder. I first noticed this show due to its high praise its dub received. Because with this anime, only one of the main characters is Japanese, and the rest of them in the dub were given accents to match their backgrounds, adding more realism to the international nature of the cast. The main character, however, is a Japanese worker named Rock, and while they gave him a normal American voice, being from the same actor as Light from Death Note really made it work. They sort of have a similar outlook to life. So from the premise you might think that this is gonna be, oh no, Rock is trapped on the ship, how will he avoid getting out of this and not give in to the pirate's seedy nature? But no, not really, because due to his company's ties to the underworld, they actually hire people to kill him off so not to expose any company secrets, and due to that, Rock begins a sort of downward spiral into loathing and hating everything about the world around him. He's a very pessimistic sort of character who's shocked at first that this is the life of people in the underworld, but slowly drags himself into it, offering his own morals to the characters, but taking on board what the others value. On the crew that kidnapped him, you have the leader Dutch, the IT guy Benny, and the most wonderfully evil person Revy. She's the sort of overpowered hitman on the team with her signature dual-wielding pistols. I will say, if you have a thing for powerful women with weapons, this is definitely the show for you. The way the episodes go is that the crew will be given a job to do regarding the underworld, whether it be from a crook, mafia, triad, Russian ex-military, and so on. They don't have any side they belong to, but rather just take the job that gives them the fattest paycheck. They themselves aren't necessarily evil, but understand this is the nature of the world, and have to do whatever it takes to survive. Rock himself on the crew allows us as the audience to view into this dark world, and yes, it's extremely dark, covering themes not many other anime would touch. Some people may actually be put off by some of the stuff it covers, as I was during Season 2's episodes. Now a standout for this anime, which is why I regard it so highly, was due to the animation studio Madhouse, which are known for their amazing animation. The gunfights in the show are some of the best out there, with very visceral action, where the characters stay on model for the entirety while pulling off these amazingly expressive faces. It sort of has that mixture of 90s and 2000s art style, which I think is very visually appealing. I know some people might think good animation has to be overly stylized and extreme action, but the way Madhouse worked it here was so amazing, and I honestly was on the edge of my seat for all the fight scenes. Now when I first watched this, I had this pegged as my 5th favorite anime of all time, but I've been doing this thing the past year where I've been re-watching my favorite anime to kind of see and scrutinize those quotation marks official rankings, and re-watching this I kind of don't think that anymore. Oh, don't get me wrong, this is still one of my favorites and I love the rewatch, but I don't think it's up there with the absolute favorites. It just dropped down a little bit. Some of the episodes at the start of Season 2 were very hard to rewatch for me, and I guess the overall pessimistic attitude and too real depictions of things that happen in the real world kind of took a toll on me. This was before I watched Evangelion, by the way. But granted, the animation and voice acting still are high standouts to me, which is why it's one of the few anime I've actually bought on Blu-ray, if that means something. So yeah, that's Black Lagoon, a dark action anime that can go between dark and action very quickly, with its heavily stylized look at the underworld played up for the action, but also hitting real hard with some scenes. The personalities and morals of the main characters are not your typical goody-goody heroes, but they match the environment these characters grew up and live in. The animation itself is amazing with the fight scenes, plus if you love expressive faces that are not so comedic, oh boy, it's got plenty of that. And before I go, I just want to point out the manga creator, because I find this whole situation amusing. Here you have an amazing adaptation of your manga, but it had to stop because they caught up with the source material. And the reason the source material was stopped, because, well, the creator kinda realized how lucrative the adult drawing industry is in Japan. Which is really kinda sad, because I would have loved to see where they kept going with the story after what they teased. But well, recently he started the manga up again, so I can only hope if it gets more seasons, they give it to Studio Studio Madhouse, but also bring back the dub actors, because my goodness, they really do an exceptional job.
I'll take some of that.
What the hell have you been smoking, Etta? That's Dutch's. I swear, if you so much as lick that bottle, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you and shove a beer up your ass.
Fuck you too.